Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's going on? Everyone checking in with another late night show. Let's get these commercials out of the way real quick. Everybody that's currently watching on YouTube, I know it's late in the night. We are actually here in the midnight hour tonight. Very, very late show tonight. But yes, we are here to hold it down for the third shift in the night hours. The first shifters and the second shifters. I'm sure we'll see y'all on the replay tomorrow. But everybody that's watching or will watch the replay, hit the like button for your dog that's going to be watching this on YouTube. As we always say, when you hit the like button, that helps the video get out into a bigger audience, helps us jump into the algorithm. Same for everybody that's going to be watching this or currently watching this on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook crew, of course. Hit that like button for me as well. That way Mark Zuckerberg and his crew knows that we are on live and they can get the video out in the Facebook algorithm as well. But welcome in. I'm glad you're here. I will be your host for the night. My name is Toddy. And in the words of the late, great Mills Lane, let's get it on. Yo, we're coming now. We're right at about 24 hours since Arthur Smith was officially fired or publicly fired or announced to the public, I guess I should say. And right after that, the Falcons held the press conference earlier today, which we're gonna do a reaction video on the press conference. You know, we're gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna dissect it. We're gonna talk about it. And we're going to even read between the lines of what was said in the press conference and also what was not said in the press conference as well. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We won't spend a whole lot of time on it. In fact, y'all, it was a long press conference. I'm going to be honest. I did not get a chance to watch the entire thing. It's a little bit over a half an hour and a half. I caught bits and pieces of it today as it was going on live. I did not get a chance to watch the entire thing. So I said to myself, you know what? When I get home tonight, I'll just watch it. Then when I got home tonight, the college football playoffs was on. So, you know, of course, I diverted all my attention to that. And I did not get a chance to watch this press conference in its entirety. So when we do this reaction, a lot of this stuff is going to be brand new to me. Which will probably be good. You know, that way I can give y'all a real organic opinion on it as we talk about it. And interested to hear y'all thoughts and y'all's opinions on it as well. Shout out to the Dixon Way checking in, since we have more problems than coaching. I agree with you on that, Larry. And of course, y'all make sure to check out Larry and his beautiful wife Shonda from the Dixon Way also. So if you're not subscribed to their channel, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel as well. But you make a good point there, Larry. We do have more problems than just coaching. C Dub is in the building. So, oh snap, we young. We in here, C Dub. What's going on? How you feeling, bro? G's in here. What's up, G? I see in that preference, I have zero faith. Oh man. That says a lot. You're not the first person that I've saw or read say something similar to that today. Marlon in here. What's going on, Marlon? How you feeling? Says, what it do, dog? It's 2024. Time for change. I'm with you. I'm right there on that change bandwagon with you, my friend. Let's see. The King in here. What's up, King? 83 says, I'm liking Jim Harbaugh. Wasn't too impressed with Penis Jr. in the championship game. Yeah, I figured that Michigan would win that game. Between the two teams, they were the closest thing to an SEC team in tonight's matchup. So I figured they would win. I thought it would be a little bit more closer than it was ultimately tonight. But I did have Michigan coming out with the victory. Wallace in the building. What's going on, Wallace? How you feeling? What's going on with you, Tyler? We on tonight. Let's go, Wallace. How you feeling, bro? Appreciate you pulling up, man. G says, what's up, Tyler? After watching the press, okay. All right. I think I read that one already. Dixon always said a bang session is needed. Hey, we might get to that tonight also, bro. Ray is in here. What's going on, Ray? How you feeling, bro? What's going on? Eric checking in. What's popping, Eric? How you feeling? Monica checking in. How you doing, Monica? Glad you fell through. Let's see here. See, Dust. Hey, y'all. Let's keep John Harris on your mind. He's okay, but he was in an accident. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that. Hope he's well. You say he's doing well, so that is good news. I did not know that. I did not know that. I know I hadn't seen him online really today, which I normally see him or excuse me, or interact with him most every day on social media. But yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to him and make sure he's doing good. My dog Red Swarm's in the building. How you feeling, Red Swarm? Appreciate you pulling up, bro. So what it do, good brother? Tired of things are looking up in the A. Rise up, y'all. Rise up to y'all, so man. Thank you for coming through. Mike in the building says, "What's up, brother? Glad to see all the Smiths gone. Now let's get a coach that cares about winning. I'm all the way with you on that." I got Steven in the building. What's up, Steve? How you doing, bro? McKay will always be the GM and CEO. He's the problem. Ooh, we gonna talk about that also. Coach is in here. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling, bro? Y'all check Coach out on YouTube. Also, please subscribe to his channel. So what's up, bro? Man, people are praying on me all day because I've been trying to explain how the GM stuff work. And when you're trying to describe it from the Falcons organizational structure, it can get confusing. I gotta be honest. Listen to those guys. I shouldn't say guys, but listen to Blake and McKay dance around some of these questions today. It got a bit confusing, convoluted. Also, we gonna discuss that as well. Monica said the press conference was messy. I heard that also. Red Swan said prayers being offered for Brother John Harris. Yes, let's definitely keep John in our prayers. Also, I'm gonna reach out to John and see how he's doing. Monica said the reporters did a good job. Okay, so we're gonna hear that also. Like I said, I'm interested to hear it. I have not, excuse me, I have not had a chance to watch the entire thing. So I'm gonna try to go through as much as I can tonight. Again, we might have to do a part 1 tonight, then a part 2 tomorrow night, because I don't think we're gonna be able to make it through the entire thing. When I looked on YouTube, I saw it was 90 minutes. So like, oh man, I won't have time to watch this and also watch the game as well. Coach said, please, please, please explain to these people how it works, and I'll be happy to break that down also. Wallace says, what's good with you, C-Dub? Okay, talking to C-Dub. Facebook user said we should trade up one and get the best quarterback available. I'm all for it. We talked about that last night. I'm all for it. Tony, what's up? Fans are banging in the press conference comment section of Fire McKay. Let's ring the bell for the fans banging in the comment section. I like to see that, man. I like to see it. C Dubs Tidy posted pics on the iTest group. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get on the group when I get off here tonight. Let me see here what else we got. Make sure I talk to everybody. Mr. 912 says Tidy. What's up, brother? What's up, 912? I ain't seen in a minute, bro. How everything been going with you? How you doing? Make sure I talk to everybody. Shout out Red on the track. What's up, Red? How you feeling, bro? What's going on? Yeah, so let's get to it, man. Like I say, this is a pretty long press conference, man. Normally, when Arthur Blank do a press conference, it'd be like 30 minutes tops. But man, this thing was like 30 minutes. So let's pull it up and get to it. I started talking about it, y'all. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Let's see there. Let's Let's move that out the way. Let's see if we can blow this up too. So let me blow it up. Okay, there we go. I should blow it up a little bit. Can I move myself down a little bit? Let me see if I can move myself down. Dang, I don't know what I guess I just leave it like it is. I don't know what I done did here on the back end, y'all. It looked crazy to me. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it like that. Yeah, y'all, we're gonna go through some of this and let's talk about it. I'll pause this periodically. That way we can talk about it. And if y'all want me to stop it at any point, just comment in the chat and just say let's talk about that part of it, and we'll stop and we'll talk about that as well. But let's start it up.
For the head coach in this case versus results. And there's no question that over the last 3 years that our results have not been what I've committed to our franchise, which has been have championships and being competitive at the highest possible levels that we could achieve. We haven't done that for 3 years. There's lots of subplots, sub-stories, which we could spend hours talking about, and most everybody in this room has either verbally expressed views on or written about, et cetera. So we could debate some of those things or discuss some of those things, but we are where we are. Search is underway. It'll be co-chaired, co-led by myself and Rich, who's our CEO of the AMBSE, and obviously got a long storied history as a general manager and senior football person, not only for the Atlanta Falcons, but really for the National Football League as well. At the end of the day, I understand the final decision will be mine, but mine will be in collaboration with, with others.
Okay, let's start right there. And this will go into probably some of what Coach was saying earlier. So far, Mr. Blank, he's talking about, of course, the next head coach and, the search and how they're going to go about finding the next head coach for the Falcons. And if I'm quoting him correctly, he said, and of course I'm paraphrasing, it'll be co-chaired by himself, Rich McKay. Those are the first two names that he said. So of course their opinion will of course hold the most weight, and other members of his staff. And he said ultimately the decision will be mine. So that's one thing I want to touch on off top, because there has been, especially with the Arthur Smith Terry Fontenot thing, with technically us hiring the coach before we hired the general manager. A lot of people were saying, well, Terry didn't have the opportunity to hire his own head coach, and Arthur Blank is pretty much telling you during the next head coach, Terry won't be hiring his own head coach either, because that's just really not the way the Falcons do things in regards to hiring and firing head coaches. It's always done through Arthur Blank, as he's telling us right here, hey, the ultimate decision will be mine. This is my team, and I will hire the next head coach. So, he kind of clarified that from the very beginning, that, the GM won't hire the head coach. And even going back to the Thomas Dimitroff days, Dimitroff was not hiring his own head coach. Of course, they went through a firm with the most recent hire in the Dimitroff era, which was Dan Quinn, of course. So that's one thing that really, really sticks out. Him reiterating, my general managers don't hire head coaches here for the Atlanta Falcons. That's just not how we do business. He didn't say that verbatim, but that's essentially what he said thus far. Wallace says, and that's what I've been saying, that Mr. Blank gets the final say so in the hiring. Absolutely correct. It's always been that way. It's always been that way. I think as fans online, specifically as Falcons fans, I kind of think we probably created a narrative that the general manager hires head coaches in Atlanta, and under Arthur Blank's ownership, that just has not been the case. Now, I can't speak really for the Rankin Smith days. I was here and I was a Falcons fan when Rankin Smith owned the team, but I will be totally honest. I was not as invested in how the front office works, you know, in the 80s and, the early parts of the 90s. I was just watching football and being a younger football fan. But as you get older, you start looking behind the scenes. So I really can't speak on how the Rankin Smith structure worked from the very top to the bottom. But let's continue.
As I said initially, we've kind of begun the process, if you will. It doesn't take long to get going. So we're moving. But I also want to be clear on this is that there is no timetable. The only timetable is to do this correctly, take our time, be thoughtful, do all the interviews, be respectful, make sure we have a full, diverse slate of candidates that we're considering in every way, and give each and every one of them an opportunity to express their vision for our football team, for our franchise, for the roster, and where we are and where we expect to go. And we'll take as much time as we need to do that and do it correctly. So that means and I think it's a good thing, as Rich and I have chatted about this more than once, and I serve on the DEI committee for the NFL and have been involved in a number of these changes. The NFL, by design, has kind of slowed the process down. There's multiple teams that are in playoffs now that there's different rules about when you can talk to each person, rules when they can talk to them on the way to the bathroom, on the way from the bathroom. I mean, it's like a million different rules. You have to pay a tremendous amount of attention to them. I'm making a joke of it, but they're very serious and very well thought out to make sure the coaches are respected, their teams are respected, and their efforts being where they are fully respected as well. And to make sure that all candidates getting a fair opportunity to compete for these unique opportunities. So we will pay all attention to those rules. We did last time, 2001. I think our search process that we went through with Coach Smith was widely saluted and supported at the league level as being kind of a model as to what they would like to see clubs do. I think we did it well. We certainly had hard factual reasons why we selected Coach Smith. So we will take our time and do it as well. So I am reminded of one story. I still remember this with Ambassador Rooney.
So after Blank is saying when the most recent time that, the last time they went through this process of hiring a coach, excuse me, was of course the coach that they just fired 24 hours ago, Arthur Smith. He just stated that the NFL commended them on their procedure of how they hire a coach, and I guess he's saying that the league or the NFL would like for that to be a model or somewhat of a blueprint for other NFL teams to follow. So I guess Mr. Blank will go into more detail here what he means, or maybe he'll go but go behind or go through the layers of exactly what they're gonna do. Again, I haven't watched the entire thing yet, so I'm really not sure everything that he's gonna say here. But we will continue to watch this. C Dub says, well, not the model the man did. Go 21 and 30. Good point. Good point. Definitely want better results. Facebook user, what's up? Says I felt even more discouraged after watching the press conference. I really hope they get it right this time. Myself as well. I definitely hope they get it right this time. You don't want to be hiring coaches every 3 years.
Who's passed away now, Art Rooney's father, Dan Rooney, when we were doing a coach search 17 years ago. And he called me out of the blue and said, I just want you to feel, because we were way down the road and we hadn't selected a coach yet, and either had he. He said, just, take your time, do this correctly. You're going to hear it. You can't hire coordinators. You can't hire position coaches. Hire a head coach immediately, et cetera. He said, and they had taken forever. And the guy they selected was Mike Tomlin. So Mike has obviously been a very successful head coach for them for 17 years, but I still remember that. So I said this to Rich last night, and I would say it to myself. Everybody needs to breathe, including everybody in this room, and our fans need to as well. Understand that we are all entitled to a good cry, whether it be in a literal sense or emotionally. I get that. But nobody up here, nobody connected to our organization has anything else but a full commitment to getting us to the next level, getting us to a championship.
I think Arthur's kind of rambling right now. Come on, Arthur. Let's get to the juice of this thing, man. I think he's rambling a little bit. Let's get to the juice of what you're gonna say, please, Mr. Blank. Oh man, I started the thing over. Oh no, I did. There we go.
Level, getting us to where we have committed to our fan base that we wanted to be, and that's having an extraordinarily competitive team. So we'll do everything we can to invest in that. As always, we'll put all resources on the table. We have an incredible stadium. We have an incredible fan base that for the last couple of years have been voted #1 in fan experience in the NFL in terms of the environment we've created. We want to make sure that we thank the people in the stadium, but we mostly thank our fans who have brought that energy to the building, despite results that have been something less than they wanted to see and that we wanted to see. But I salute them and attribute a lot of that success to them. So with that, let me flip it over to Rich, and then we'll take as many questions as you all have. We're not in any rush. You be thoughtful about your questions, and outside of my golf game, any question is fair. So I'll refer my golf question to either Rich or Zach, to you, one of the two of you. Mr. McKay?
Yes, sir. So for me, it's a hard day. I'm the son of a coach, so I know the impact of decisions like this and what they mean. They mean to the families, to all the people that are associated with, trying to get us to the championship level. It's a very tough moment. Let me say to Arthur Smith and to what he did for us. When he came in with he and Terry in 21, we were in a situation where the franchise had some veteran players that were on veteran contracts with a very, very challenged salary cap. And I give credit to both, Terry and Arthur in that, they spent 2 years retooling our roster, fixing our salary cap, which really wasn't the function of mismanagement before, but a function of trying to keep a veteran team and taking a chance to win a championship. And then,
did they just throw Terry Fontenot a bone then? Did y'all hear what I heard? I think they just threw Thomas Dimitroff. I think they just threw Thomas Dimitroff a bone. He pretty much said, look, the salary cap hell was not a result of Dimitroff doing a bad job with the salary cap, but more so us trying to keep a veteran team together, namely Matt Ryan, namely Julio Jones. So y'all tell me what y'all think about that. But I think he just threw Dimitroff a bone on that. That's what it sounded like to me, at least. He threw him a bone and said, "Hey, man, like we're just trying to keep our vets together because we felt like we had a good thing and we were trying to keep a good thing going." A harmonica said, "Here comes the mess." Okay, so let me keep going. See what else they say.
having COVID come in and have the salary cap go down, which really kind of caught us. But that said, I give them a tremendous amount of credit. Arthur is a great human being, a very collaborative head football coach, gave great vision to our scouting department. And I think that allowed the retooling of the roster where I think we're in a good place. We intend to win and compete at the highest levels in 2024. One of the reasons we made this move is that reason. And part of the reason we think we can do that is the work that Arthur and his staff did, as did Terry and his staff. It was not easy. This year, we did not achieve what we wanted to achieve. And there are many factors around it. But for us, we have to look at the fans and say, are we in a place where we think we can compete for a championship? And are we going to be too patient or not? And in this case, we felt like the change was necessary to make sure that we compete in 24 at the highest level. So I, have a really good, I've enjoyed my professional and personal relationship with Arthur. He did, as Arthur Blank just noted, he started at the ground up. I mean, he was a GA or below GA that worked his way all the way up to being a head football.
Okay, Rich McKay, enough of the autobiography. Let's get this thing going. We're almost 16 minutes in and you both are rambling. Can we accelerate this thing, please?
Coach. And he's a very respectful, very good guy in the building, very good relationship with his players. But we need to always hold ourselves accountable to our fans. And we need to try to put ourselves in a position to compete for championships. And that's why we made this decision at this time.
Let me, just two other comments I want to add on. One Rich alluded to, and I want to be really clear on this. We've been around situations where the coach has lost, quote, the locker room. You've heard that, seen it, maybe experienced it here, maybe elsewhere, you've read about it. So this coach never lost a locker room. I want to be clear on that. And it's a great credit to him, the other coaches, but it's also a tremendous credit to the players, to the leadership that we have on this roster, in that locker room, that the last play to the last day, they were fighting. So I want to give them.
He's saying that Coach Arthur Smith did not lose the locker room. Arthur Blank just actually spit some bars there too. The last play to the last day, this team was fighting. Okay. Arthur Smith Arthur Blank been listening to some little baby or something up in that suite, huh?
Credit. And our allegiance, our alliance, Rich alluded to, is to our fan base, but it's also to the players. It's the players. It's not about financial relationship between us and the players, but we owe it to the players to make certain that, given their commitment to the game, emotionally, physically, energy, passion, everything that they do professionally, that we're giving them the best opportunity to win. And if it's anything less than that in any way, then we have to address that ourselves. So, part of this is to honor our fan base, but part of it is to honor our players and make sure that they know that we will do anything and everything we can to give them the best opportunity to perform at the level that they need to perform to give us a chance to have championships in Atlanta. So salute to the players, and salute to Arthur and his coaching staff for building that relationship with the players. It's very impressive. Not just a handful of players, a number have spoken out on his behalf, which is all accurate and honest and attributable to themselves. They weren't, positioned to speak up. They just spoke from their hearts. So great kudos to that whole group of players and that coaching staff as well. So with that, let's take questions. David Bassett, you all know, will kind of chair the questions, and DL, as usual, first question.
Yes.
As it should be.
Thank you, sir. Arthur and Rich, could you all shed some light and discuss how the meeting went last night, and then if there'll be some parameters on the coaching search with the landscape that's out there now and available candidates?
Let me speak to the meeting last night. I think we met for, I don't know, probably a few hours, maybe a little bit longer than that. And we had a very respectful, thoughtful discussion about the last 3 years, about each of the 3 years, about where we were as an organization, as a franchise, where the roster was. We talked about, considerations that were on the table, and just felt at the end of the day, and we spent some quiet time after we finished with Coach Smith deciding that the right decision, all things considered, that we needed to move forward. But it was very, like every meeting we've had with Coach Smith for the last 3 years, has always been thoughtful, smart as heck, caring, kind, cares about the game, cares about winning, cares about the players, cares about our franchise, cares about Atlanta.
So it sounds like to me here that as soon as they got back to Atlanta or Flowery Branch, I guess, that they had a immediate meeting with Arthur Smith. Seems like it probably lasted a great length of time. He did say it probably lasted more than a few hours. They talked to him after the meeting. Then I guess Blank and McKay talked within themselves. Blank is kind of going out his way to paint a narrative that it was a soothing meeting. You know, like there was no loud voices, no combative back and forth. He was like, it was cool. He feels deeply about the franchise, about Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he's definitely trying to let us know that look, it was not a combative meeting. We wasn't in there hollering and screaming at each other. We were in there talking, just like men should. Um, so that's what I'm gathering from this thus far. Red said he forgot to tell us about Arthur cussing him out. It sounds like he's trying to say that that's definitely was not the case. um, so that's what I said too, Red. Facebook user, did Terry have any input in the firing? Probably not. I'm guessing he did not. Thus far, they have not even mentioned Terry Fontenot's name. So, personally, this is my personal opinion. I don't think Terry had a voice in this matter at all. Not one bit. Based on what they're saying right now. MBG said, dude just being professional. That's his job. Um, Monica said Blank was like, fired this MF at 12. That's about when it happened. When the clock struck 12, like I guess Cinderella, right?
That's kind of the tone of the meeting. I'll let Rich talk about the
Yeah,
other.
I mean, as typical, Arthur Smith, he's very well organized, very well prepared. It was a great, really good discussion under emotional circumstances after a game and an end of a season. But it was very productive, and it was the right thing for us to have that exchange. And I was proud of him the way he handled it, and as he does almost all of that.
It's hard not to notice that Terry Fontenot isn't here. A couple different branches on that. First, what's his role right now with the organization? Because it seemed like Arthur Smith and Fontenot had a 50-50 split on decision-making. And why is he not kind of up here, I guess, as part of this process, considering he's still your general manager, if he is still your general manager?
Thank you. Somebody let me know my mic was muted. But yeah, somebody got to the business. Thank you, whoever that reporter was. He got straight to the business. Asking the right question. Hey, where's Terry? Is he still the general manager? Why is he not up here? So these are the questions. Like, yeah, these are the questions that need to be asked. We get y'all had this meeting, and Arthur Smith is this great guy and everything. But yeah, that's the question that I want here. Yeah, and thank y'all. I didn't know my mic was muted, so I read the comments. I was just sitting here just talking, so I appreciate that. What's up, Trey? So he was well organized, but he can't lead the team. I'm confused. C Dub said, here we go. Coda says, Rich is a yes man. Appreciate that, Coach. Yeah. So let's see what they say about Terry Fontenot. What's going on with Terry? Where is Terry? Not where's Waldo, but where's Terry?
So Terry actually is here. So are a ton of other staff people that'll be heavily involved in the search and heavily involved in the decision as we go forward. because they're physically not here doesn't mean they're not very well represented here. Terry was aware of the process we were going through. We sought out Terry's opinion of other senior people in our organization as well. So he's done an excellent job as our general manager.
Okay, question for y'all in the chat, because he just said we sought out Terry's opinion. So I might have missed that. I might didn't comprehend Blank's answer based on the question. But is he saying that he went to Terry to get his opinion on whether or not they should retain Arthur Smith? Y'all can somebody in the chat like answer that for me, because I got kind of a little bit lost when he's saying he sought out Terry. So is he saying that he was asking him should they keep Arthur around, or can anybody clue me in on what he meant right there? Does anybody know? Miller Mill says Zeno asked that Heat. Oh, that was Zeno. Let's ring the bell for Zeno. I didn't know that was Zeno, man. Shout out to Zeno. Zeno be asking them Heat questions too. Yeah, but does anybody know what he meant when he said he talked to Terry and he, asked Terry's opinion? See, Dub said he asked Terry to do paper. Oh, okay. So he had Terry doing paperwork. All right, so I guess we'll just keep it going and maybe he'll answer the question as he continues to talk.
Manager, our drafts 2001, 2, and 3, 21, 22, 23 have been good. Some have been a little better than others. Are certainly a free agency. The investments we've made this year on the pro side of the ball have been outstanding in my view. Serious investments, serious returns we've gotten from them. But Terry is our general manager and will be heavily involved in the process going forward, as will some other key people that we depend on in terms of their football.
Okay, so Terry is still the general manager and he will be heavily involved in the process going forward. So will other key people. Now, not that it's really any of my business, Mr. Blank, but how many people are we talking about? 2 more people, 3 more people, 4 more people? How many cooks are in this kitchen making this decision? Who are all the decision makers? And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe somebody will ask him that during this process. But I'm interested to know, like, how many people are we talking about? Miller says, no, that wasn't him. You'll hear Zeno. Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Dirty Bird said, you're going to get quite confused the more this goes on. And how you ask his opinion if you're the final authority, rendering his opinion mute. Boy, that's a good perspective. Facebook user says he don't even know. That's what it kind of sounds like. He don't even know. I'm already confused. I'm already confused. Red said he asked Terry's opinion on keeping the heat on in the facility. It is getting a little colder. I got my heat on right now, so I know you ain't saying that Terry is the HVAC guy. Come on, give my boy Terry a break. See, Dale says, was there a small pick of Terry on the table? Let's ring the bell for that. Let's ring the bell for Fontenot being there in spirit and also having a small picture of Terry on the podium. Yo, wow. Man. G says 2 minute damn hands in the pot. Yeah, boy. Woo. This is a gourmet meal being cooked by 30 people to serve only 2. You don't need 30 chefs to serve 2 people. Come on now. That's 2 minute cooks in the kitchen, man. 2 minute cooks in the kitchen. Rest of the time, you got me laughing. They got me laughing, bro. Like I'm already confused. How many minutes are we into this thing? 22 minutes in, and I already don't really know what's going on in Flowery Branch, bro. I'm already kind of puzzled, man. Trey said he said early in the conversation that he will ultimately make the final decision. Yes, I do recall him saying that. Red says John McClane picture on Holiday Death was bigger and Die Hard. Let's ring the bell for that. I'm not the movie guy, but we're gonna ring the bell for that. Robinson, congratulations to your Wolverines also, bro. Congratulations on the win to y'all. You'll get to be the champ for 364 days because my University of Georgia Bulldogs are coming back to get our title. Says Uncle Terry is the general manager of Falcons Food and Beverage. Let's ring the bell for that. You saying Terry should stay in food and beverage? Shout out to Casino, one of my all-time favorite movies. Bijan homeboy in the building. What's up, Bijan? Says I wonder how Dan Quinn and Mike Smith reacted when Arthur Blank fired them. Good question, man. That's a good question. Coach said, I don't think any of them make decisions. He just asked them, like you ask your kids what they want to eat. They will tell you, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. Ooh, good point. That's an excellent point. In fact, excellent point. See, Dell said the Matrix is easy to understand and expressive. Ooh, that sounded a lot. Risk Materials at Flowery Branch canceling them badges and escort folks. Let's ring the bell. But y'all done put Terry in the kitchen. Y'all done made him HVAC man, and now Rich just put him in the head of security. Let's ring the bell for Terry being the head of security. Security. Well, y'all a hard crowd. Y'all a hard crowd. Listen, I saw the 2 minute cheats and not enough Indians. Ooh, profound statement, bro. Profound statement. Miller Mills was speaking of the Natty. I'm cool on that kid on that Penix kid, but Michael Penix, by the way. Yeah, that was not his best game tonight. Definitely not. Antoine Wartown. What's up, Antoine? Says, like I said, Uncle Steve showed this press conference shows the reason why in Atlanta Falcons history, the reason we never hire a black coach. What about a black GM? You know, are they about the same level of power? I guess they're about equal based on the Falcons structure or hierarchy. Wallace says, Todd, he's talking about 5 other top heads they have in the building. Ooh, so 5 other. So that's 5. The 5 others. Let's do a count. We got 5 to the side. We got Terry, that makes 6. We got Arthur, that makes 7. We got Rich, that makes 8. Ooh, that's a lot of people. Trey Airlines said, y'all tripping. Terry answered the phone. Okay, so let's ring the bell for that. So Terry then went from the cook, the HVAC guy, security. Now he's a receptionist. Terry got a lot of jobs. Terry must be Jamaican. He got a lot of jobs. So let's keep the video going. Y'all wilding out in the comments, man. Y'all crazy.
Operations and football knowledge. Rich, you want to?
Yeah, I would say, Michael, I say today, did I meet with Terry 25 times? Yes, probably. Yeah, he's doing a lot of work. The search, listen, we've got a lot to organize, and he and his people have to organize it. Arthur's committee that he makes light of, the DE&I committee that added just a few regulations, it's about a 25-page book that you've got to make sure that you comply with in the processes. And, you know, Terry and his group are going to go through all of that, go through all of the candidates, go through all of the research. They'll be sitting right at the table. So there's just a lot of work.
Hold on, y'all say Terry a security and y'all say he receptionist, but Rich McKay said he got to comply with a 25-page manual and go through all the candidates and, you know, screen the candidates and I guess do the drug tests on the candidates and check the candidates' reference. Y'all trying to make it look like Terry ain't got no real job as a GM. Like Rich McKay is bringing back on y'all in the comments, trying to play like Terry has no real authority in Flowery Branch. So Rich McKay, bring it back. Let's ring the bell for Rich McKay. Bring it back on y'all in the comment section. Get a Rich trying to make like Terry ain't got no real authority in the room. Rich is Terry in the mail room. Oh boy, y'all got Terry in the mail room. Somebody tell Ritter he has a letter from home. They want. Let's ring the bell for Ritter getting mail at Flowery Branch to come back home. Where's Ritter from? Where's Desmond Ritter? Desmond Ritter originally from? I know he went to school in Cincinnati. Where you originally from? See, does is Terry not wearing any shoes? So he like Mac Hollis, the no shoe game. Rich, someone said Terry was at the national championship game, but Arthur didn't confirm this and sounded confused when they asked him about not being there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But you would think he'd be at the national championship game. I know when they had the what was it, the SEC championship game last year, Ohio State. No, the national championship game. That was at the Benz, right? When Arthur Blank was there watching CJ Stroud. What's up, Diva? How you doing? Says, what's up, Todd? I'm hoping these people who wanted Penix and the ATL are over that suggestion. Yeah, that was not a great showing from him tonight. Overall, Diva, I like the kid, but he's definitely not my top quarterback in the draft. He never been even before tonight. I just can't get over the injuries. That's just one thing I can't get over. I was watching him tonight, and it seemed like most of the second half, he was limping around, and he just seemed hurt or bothered by nicks here and injuries there. That's my real thing with Penix. two ACL surgeries before you even get to the NFL. Those are just some real big red flags that are hard for me to get by. Traces that body language told it all. Rewind it. Rich adjusted his seat. See, Doug said, just wait. Monica said, I told you this was messy. Yeah, this is already started off messy. We on just like the second question, and it's already being real messy. Oh man. Antoine said he's a do boy. Oh man, y'all are really banging in these comments, man. Miller says by 8 people to make a decision, and yet some of y'all want Belichick. Yeah, let's ring the bell for that. But you know what, Millie? I think that's why we need a guy like Belichick here, because we got too many people running around making decisions, man. Our franchise, we need like that that alpha dog in the litter, you know, that respected OG in the building, if I may. Because that seems like what we are missing. You got all these people and all these titles and all these decision makers. Seems like you just need a real experienced OG in the building to make some tough decisions. You know, who's very respected. Ritter from Kentucky. Okay, all right. So that's why his dialect like that, because he definitely got that Kentucky yang. You know how he talk. Shout out everybody from Kentucky. Not taking no shots at Kentucky, but every region got kind of like their own dialect, you know, how they talk, you know. So sure some of y'all listen to me talking, y'all probably call me a country bumpkin or Alabama, you know. It's just, you know, where you from, where you was raised. Little E said Rich McKay looks like a mannequin. Zigzag, what's up? Louisville. Okay, shout out to Louisville. Louisville in the building. New Sports, HBCU, EDU. What's up? What's up to you? Hire Eric B. Enemy or Steve Wilkes and bring in Russell Wilson at quarterback. Maybe, possibly. I wouldn't mind Russell Wilson if we can get him at a real cheap deal, but I still would like to get us a rookie quarterback and sit him behind Russell for like a year or two. That would be my choice, personally. Winston checking in from the eye test. What's going on, Winston? Y'all make sure to follow Winston and John also on the eye test on YouTube. So did anyone catch Rich McKay say that one of Fontenot had control of the draft and the other had control of free agency? So they both share blame for the team construction. I didn't hear that. I might have missed that. Wallace said Ritter from Ohio. Okay, so what it is it Ohio or is it Kentucky? Which one is it? Which one is it? See, does to get him a hardball, or better yet, go get Raheem. Raheem the Dream. Matty Ghost, what's up? Rich McKay sucks. He picked Arthur Fluff. Jesus Blank and McKay got Terry as the step and fetch guy instead of the G. Boy, y'all are rough crowd, boy. Divas is Terry looking at hardball at the national championship. News says Rich McKay must go. Mr. Blank is fooled by their fraud. Matty Ghost says I don't trust to see now Arthur Blank or Rich McKay. See Dust, Terry got Ragon job. Be the DoorDash guy. Boy, y'all rough crowd. Rich said Belichick not coming here the way Blank has too many decision makers. You're probably right. Somebody like Bill Belichick watched this press conference like, oh, hell no. Told his agent, take Atlanta off the list. Hell no. They don't even know what they're doing now. And the country jokers, they ain't even got their stuff in order. So you might be right. That's number one on my list. Matty goes Jim Harbaugh, but I'm not sure we'd be attracted to Harbaugh. We probably really have to overpay him. But right now, Harbaugh is number one on my list. My main concern with Harbaugh is seems like he like to move around every 3 or 4 years. He'll go somewhere, be there 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and he off to his next destination. That's my only drawback with Harbaugh. He like to move around, it seems like to me. But he's number one on my list right now. MVG says, bro, we will look sorry as hell to get beat by Bill in the Super Bowl just to hire him as head coach. Where they do that at. It wouldn't even matter to me if he brought us a Super Bowl. It wouldn't matter. It would not matter to me one bit at all. I just want somebody here that can get us to a Super Bowl. Little E says we have 2 quarterbacks, one named Taylor, and should maybe be a suit Taylor. The other one named Ritter, and we need to get rid of him. So Little E coming in with the bars. Miller Mills is title. We already got that OG McKay. He's blank helper, and then he got helpers. F it, too many damn people. I agree. It's too many people. Too many people. Shout out to Illinois in the building. Shout out to Illinois. Let's ring the bell for Illinois in here. Robinson says no veteran head coach will come here with all the chaos in the front office. Yeah, you're probably right, man. Probably right. We probably really have to overpay somebody, man. Really, really overpay somebody. Wallace is tired. I don't think it's 8 people that make decisions, but they all come to an agreement before they come to a decision. Ooh, that's kind of confusing in itself. Wallace, Kentucky. Facebook user said this press conference was a mess. Molly Mall, what's up, Molly Mall? So y'all not getting hardball, just so you know. So let's ring the bell for Molly Mall, put us in our position. We ain't getting no damn hardball. Let's ring the bell for that. Molly Mall said take him off your list. Y'all some bums. You're not gonna get hardball. He ain't coming there. Man, what else we got here? On a serious note, where is Terry today? Didn't he say he was in the building or something? I think he said he was doing paperwork. Didn't he just say he was doing paperwork? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I think that's what he just said. I think he just said he's doing some paperwork, if I remember right. But let's keep going, y'all. Y'all keep the comments going. I'm gonna keep the video
To be
going.
done?
The other thing I would add to that, Michael, is that, one being facetious. I mean, Terry actually is here with us. I mean, he's not physically here with us, but, if you were up at Flowery Branch today, you've got every single coach and staff person is concerned about what does this mean for me? What does it mean for my family? What does it mean for my children? We're already getting requests on, can I talk to this coach, et cetera. So, this is I'm say a battle. It's not a battle, but it's a challenge that has to be met on a number of fronts. So he's dealing with one front up there. Rich was up there early today. I probably spoke to Terry 4 times myself today. So don't read anything into him not being here as other than he's our partner. He's our general manager. He will definitely be part of this process as we go forward. And we appreciate the work that he and his personnel department have done in the last 3 years.
Okay. So he says Terry is not there. He's in Flowery Branch. So I thought this press conference was in Flowery Branch. Where's this at? Anybody? Are they in Mercedes-Benz Stadium? I'm guessing if they're not in Flowery Branch joining us, I guess they're at the Benz. But he's saying Terry was there at work today. Everybody seen Terry. He was busy working, him and his people. He sounded like Terry got his own crew that worked for Terry. And Terry was busy at work today at Flowery Branch. So y'all stop making jokes about Terry Fontenot. They say Terry is busy at work today. Tony said Harbaugh more likely with the Chargers. They already got a quarterback there. Wallace said I don't think Harbaugh leaving Michigan. I know they're gonna throw him a big bag to stay. So what else we got? Davis says Harbaugh may move because he's going to be suspended if he goes back to college. Might as well make a fresh start. You might be right. I forgot they got that little that chin scandal going on. Molly Mall says the Falcons will be last in the division next year. Molly just coming here banging on us. Molly, who is your team, Molly Mall? Does anybody know who Molly Mall, what team he rep? So we know how to slander his team properly. Molly, who is your team, bro? Who do you rep? Who is your team? In fact, who is your college and your NFL team? Inquiring minds need to know. We need to know. Robinson says Brian Flores. I haven't seen that name pop up by a lot of people as of yet. Let me try to catch up with the comments. I done got behind. Little E says Taylor Heineken signed a 2-year, $14 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, including a $4 million signing bonus, 6.3 guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $7 million. He might get cut next year. MG said get the Rex. Miller Mills said, how y'all feel about Joe Brady? Joe Brady, excuse me. Y'all like him or not? So what's y'all thoughts on Joe Brady? Lisa Mayfield signed a 1-year, $4 million contract with the Buccaneers ahead of the 2023 season. See what else we got. Facebook uses Harbaugh from Cali. He wants to go to the Chargers. So y'all telling me to take Harbaugh off my list. Okay. So Dubs to show a picture of Terry. show us a picture of Terry in your phone, man. Can we get like a FaceTime or selfie or something, man? Oh man, y'all is tripping. Rick says, so Terry was at Flowery Branch consoling the coaches. That's another title under his belt, psychiatrist. Footnote. That actually sounds pretty professional. Psychiatrist. Footnote. I wanted that Terry take psychology in school. He psychiatrist. Footnote. We're gone, be gone. Bars. We're gone, be gone, be gone. Carlo, what's up, bro? How you feeling? So I'm glad the media gut checked them like that. Terry didn't deserve that blitz. We got to read between the lines. Watch. That's what we, bro. You hit the nail on the head, Carlo. That's why we here dissecting this thing. That's why we here dissecting it. We want to read between the lines. We want to figure out what are they saying, but actually not saying. That's exactly why we here, bro. Shout out to you. B. John says Ritter's voice sounds similar to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' voice, in my opinion. I wish his arm was similar to Patrick Mahomes. We wouldn't be in this predicament right now, B. John. If his arms was anything similar to Pat Mahomes' arm, you know, we be in good standing. Okay, then Buckhead. Okay, then that mansion, they had the Buckhead mansion. Rob says there was a rumor in New York sports radio that Arthur Blank is connected to one of the 5 organized crime families. Blank looked like one of them old mob bosses, man. He talked like one too. I wouldn't be surprised. He kind of moved like one of them old mafia cats. Wallace said they probably at the Benz. Mr. CDX for life at his headquarters. C. Dusty is working on the orders. He repped the Aints. Oh man, he about to stay here. The Saints. Marlon Moss said the Saints. The Aints is my team. Man, y'all so Bush League, Marlon Moss, while you on here. Let me tell you about y'all Bush League ass team, man. Yeah, y'all beat us yesterday. You know, it was a split. We won the first one, y'all won the second one. Y'all so Bush League. You gonna line up in a victory formation and still run a play to score a touchdown. That was the most Bush League junk I done seen in a long time, bro. If y'all want to run a touchdown, line up in a regular formation and just go. But y'all go in a victory formation and get that old fugazi ass touchdown. Typical baghead behavior from the bagheads. You know, we gonna remember that next year. You know, we got the elephant's memory. We gonna remember that next year when we sweep y'all asses. You know, just remember that, Molly Mall, when that sweep come next year. Must be an Aints fan. Yeah, definitely an Aints fan. Definitely an Aints fan. Yeah, Todd, I think Molly rep. Yeah, we just snuffed him out. We snuffed him out, old baghead ain't in here. With they trash asses. I see Molly talking about my team destroyed y'all with a trash head coach. What a trash head coach? What you think we had, Molly? Why you think we watching this press conference, bro? We had a trash head coach. And we had a trash quarterback. And we won the first game. You know, yeah, y'all won the second game. Y'all blew us out. But we won the first game. We'll be back next year. We'll be back next year. Like I said, we're gonna remember that little stunt y'all pulled with y'all Bush League ass. Strapped up Ravens OC for the head coach. Ritter be gone. Strapped up also says Ravens OC the head coach and Joe Brady for also coordinator. Bijan says Raheem Morris and Caleb Williams. Ooh, I love to get Caleb, bro. Man, you get Caleb, you can go ahead and just whatever coach, you know, hey, whatever. But I would love it, man. We get Caleb, we in there. Rich Blackman said, I'm sure you started Home Depot with the mom, but he probably did, man. He probably did. Arthur moved like one of them mob guys, man. Columbo Blank. Let me start talking about Arthur Blank and the mob on this public broadcast. Let me cut the jokes. MVG's banging on you, Molly. Says Molly off that Molly. Yeah, he talking like you on that Molly. That's why we egg your bus. Let's ring the bell for them egging that bus. Did we ever find out who egged that bus? Whoever egged that bus, y'all, we gotta find that person and buy them drinks next year at the game. Man, cause that was epic, man. Threw the hell out of them eggs at that bus. Leave said them Aints got worse problems than we do. Your players have no respect for your coach and lose and get somewhere. Totally agree. Totally agree. Here go Marlon said Atlanta Burger and y'all should have stopped. How we gonna stop y'all in the victory formation, bro? Come on now. Come on now. Keep it 100, Molly. Keep it 100. That's just like if you go in a victory formation and then our defense go hard to try to get to the quarterback, then we in the wrong. You know, because when you're in a victory formation, that's pretty much both. That's a sportsmanship thing. You know, you're conceding that the game is over. You know, you just running the play for out of formality to run off the clock. We're gonna stop y'all, and we don't even think y'all running no play. Like I said, if y'all don't want to score, just line up in the I formation and just run the ball. And if you do that, you know, hey, good job to y'all. You know, we'll tip our hat to you. Facebook is a Crab Legs, an idiot leader who made the coach look bad. He was. Crab Legs is an idiot. That's why he don't start. It's not like he don't have the potential talent to be a good starting quarterback, but he's an effing idiot. He's always been an idiot. He was an idiot at Florida State. You know, I'm not going to get to that cat, bro. Eric said we can't even have a discussion about team without some Saints fans saying something. Yeah, you know how they get, bro. You know how they get. Dirty Bird says Aints won the game in another year of Carr and Allen dummies. Let's ring the bell for that. For them being some absolute idiots. Wallace says tight end Molly keeping it. Yeah, they keeping that trash head coach. You know, so man, that might have been a good thing. Y'all won that game. Y'all gonna get sweep. Y'all gonna get sweep this year. This coming season when we do play. Molly said, I just subscribed to your channel, bro, so I can see you cry about saying that shit. Shout out to you, Molly. Appreciate the subscription, bro. Appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but love at the end of the day. But you know how I go with this rivalry. F your team as a staff, record label, team, and as an MF and crew. Well, shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. I'm glad you're coming through, bro. Wallace says, tight end, I don't see Caleb Williams getting past Washington because he's from Maryland. Robinson says Uncle Terry is also prepping lemon pepper with. Why y'all doing Terry like that, bro? Y'all done put Terry in Magic City now. Y'all got Terry preparing some of the best wings that Atlanta has to offer in one of the best environments in the city. Boy, y'all a rough crowd. Y'all a very, very rough crowd. Very rough crowd. Let's see what else we got here. boy. Y'all are crazy, man. Miller said, I'm gonna be real. I think we missed out on the top 3 quarterbacks because of the combine. We're gonna end up selling for Bo Nix. Oh man, I hope not, man. As a Georgia fan, I don't want Bo Nix to come in. If we don't trade up, and me personally, I'm cool with it. I feel like we got to trade up, Millie. I feel like we got to trade up. I think we had a draft capital to do it. We haven't made a major trade up in a while, and it's about that time. It's time to go ahead and get our quarterback. Like I said, if you go get a guy like Russell Wilson, get him on a moderate contract, I'm cool with that, a 2-year deal. Trade up, get our Rick, and we ready to rock. Because we just a quarterback away. We just a quarterback away. Rich said he's been an idiot his whole pro. He has, Rich, and that's what has stopped him from really taking that next level. Because honestly, man, you know, all the rivalry BS aside, Jameis is a talented quarterback who has arm talent, but like you say, he's just an idiot. That's what has held him back from being a Pro Bowler, maybe a probable All-Pro type of guy. He's an idiot, a straight idiot. You listen to him talk long enough, he lets you know that, yeah, I'm a true idiot. Marlon Moss said he hate his coach. Well, that's make 2 of us, bro. Glad we got rid of ours, though. Oh, C-Dub says, man, we don't need Caleb. I don't think he that dude. So C-Dub say, no, he good on Caleb. Diva said, make sure you hit the like button. Yes, please. Thank you, Diva. Y'all make sure to hit the like button for your dog as well. I definitely appreciate that. And everybody who's going to watch this on a replay, make sure you hit the like button as well. Also, Facebook said, nothing going on in Aintville. Bernard said, we will trade up. Hey, man, I hope we do, Bernard. It's that time, bro. It's that time. You know, you done got your wide receiver. You done got your tight end. You done got your running back. It's time to go get the quarterback now. You know, it's going to cost it'll cost a pretty penny to move up in the top 3, but right now we're at 8. So, I mean, it's not going to be just some outrageous, you know. So it's feasible, man. And I'm sure that Calvin Ridley will end up re-signing with Jacksonville. So we're gonna have an extra second round pick to play with. And like I said last night, if we got to, hey, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Tyler Algier. I love Tyler Algier as a player, but I'm gonna be honest, he is now expendable with Bijan being the main running back. So we're in a good position to trade up if we feel like we got to, man. So if we got to do it, we got to do it. Antoine said Malamal is good people. Let's ring the bell for Malamal. Malamal sound like he good people, man. He seemed like he good people. I got a lot of good homeboys that are New Orleans fans, you know. So the going back and forth, you know, we do that for sport. We've been doing it all day on Facebook. Of course, they beat us, so you know they done had the bragging rights on me today. But yeah, I got a lot of cool Saints fans that I'm cool with, man. Some real good people. So shout out to the cool Aints fans, you know. Got a lot of love and respect for y'all. It's just that y'all got the trash pro football team. If it went for that, y'all be A-okay, man. B. Johnson's my favorite ultimate moment was his very last chewing out the Saints head coach. Hey, he looked like he ready to throw some hands, B. John. He looked like he ready to throw hands. He was just impressed. There are Tank fans that can type banging on New Orleans fans. Bernard said Caleb Williams would be great. Trey says Terry Seals 3-5 to the Smokers. God dang. Y'all done put Terry in the trap. Y'all done had Terry as a receptionist. Somebody told me he was a psychiatrist. Now y'all got him on the trap now. Boy, y'all rough, boy. Y'all are rough. That's what I want, Wallace. I want Jaden Daniels. Exactly who I'm going for. I'm going for Jaden Daniels. Y'all keep the comments going, man. I almost forgot about the video, man. Between y'all banging on Terry and Molly banging on us, I forgot about the video. Let's keep going.
Most people in this room and most people around the NFL would generally say that, you know, we've got a pretty darn good roster in a lot of areas, always room for improvement. But he and Arthur Smith together have put together that roster. So I give them credit for that, and with their whole staffs.
Yeah, I think the intended structure would be that, Michael. It wouldn't be different than it is now between the head coach and the GM, depending upon who the head coach is. And that I think one thing we're going to be very committed to is, you know, the head coach could be one that has head coaching experience. Could be, I mean, there's not going to be a definition of this, you know, head coach. It's going to be left to the best candidate. Terry will play a part in that selection process for sure, a central part, and then we'll determine exactly how you do it between the coach and the general manager. What we did before is kind of the way a lot of teams are doing it, which is 50-50, you know, kind of one's got the draft and you know, one's got free agency, one's got the 53. There's
Okay, so he's saying Terry will play a central part of the selection of the next head coach. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's saying once they do select the coach, then they're going to figure out the dynamics of who's doing what. Like, is the head coach going to get free agency, or will the GM get free agency, or vice versa? But it seemingly it will be a 50-50 dynamic with the personnel and the decision making of the team on a day-to-day basis. And he also said that Terry and Arthur built the team. So Arthur Smith was responsible for, of course, a good bit of the team and how I got structured, as well as Terry Fontenot, responsible for a good bit of it, as I read it. You know, y'all let me know if y'all heard something totally different, please. Carlos says, lame as Winston, always been a sucker, bro. Always. And that's what continually holds him back, man. Artist in the building. Shout out to you, John. C Doug told me that was you was in I think a car accident, man. So glad to see and glad to know that you're doing good, or you're doing better, or that you are fine. You know, so you know, I'll holler at you about that to make sure that you're doing well, and y'all make sure that you do follow the artist on YouTube. Also, you know, make sure that you run up the subs and run up the likes and run up the shares. John says that pick coupled with that explanation as to why there's a missing man is not a good look, especially when Dimitrov was always there on these occasions. And I don't remember, John, was Thomas Dimitrov there? I think he was when Mike Smith got fired on that press conference. I need to try to look that up and watch it again, but I believe he was. Josh says pay Harbaugh and draft Jaden Daniels. I'm all for that. That's definitely my dream scenario, Josh. Hey, I'm 130% on board with that for sure. Davis says Shannon Sharp went off on Jameis saying the same thing. He would never amount to be. I seen that. Uncle Shannon went off. Aunt went off. Aunt did not like that. I watched that, Diva. They had like about a 20+ minute segment on it. Shannon Sharp said he would have jumped outside if he was on the line. Shannon Sharp did not like that. He didn't like that at all. Not one bit. Eric said James Winston special ed. We need to trade up to 2 or 3. Yeah, I say at least 3, Rich. I'm with you on that. I said we need to trade up to at least 3. Falstar Falcon in the building. What's up with you, Falstar? How you doing, bro? What's going on? How you been? Facebook user says to get our quarterback is going to cost us money or picks, both, but we have to do it. Yeah, it's going to cost picks, but we're in a predicament now where we got to do it. And we got to get us a veteran also as well. C. Dustin John, it's good to see you here. Diva says no, Tyler. I don't want to hear that. I like Tyler. Diva, I like Tyler too, but he probably he could. I ain't gonna say probably, but he could very well end up being a victim of circumstance. Simply, if we do move up in the draft, specifically to take a quarterback, he may just get lost in the shuffle. For one, he's a very good young running back. For 2, he is young, and also 3, he's still on a rookie contract. So that makes him a very valuable trade asset and a very attractive asset to another team, because he has 2. I think is he on a 3 or 4 year deal? I think Tyler's on a 4-year deal. So he has 2 more years on his rookie contract. So he's very attractive to another team. MBG says anything trade CP because every team needs at least 2 running backs. Well, the thing about CP, Envy, is he's a free agent now, bro. He's a free agent, so he's free to do whatever he want to do. We can't trade him because he's now officially a free agent. So, and I don't think he'll be back in Atlanta. So, we don't have any contract rights to actually trade him at this point. Abel says, "Hey, Tyler, what do you think? 2 first round picks or 3 first round picks for a top 3 pick. With us being at 8, I say it would cost. This is what I think it would cost. It would cost 2 first rounders. You're gonna have to throw in some middle round, at least 1 middle round pick in there too. Probably like a 4th round in the 2025 draft, something like that, and maybe 1 player. Again, maybe a Tyler Algier, maybe a Kyle Pitts. But I don't think it'll cost us any more than 2 first round picks, because we would just be moving up from 8 to wherever we move up in the top 3. So I say 2 first round picks and 1 or 2 middle round picks, or 2 first round picks and a player. So we may go 2 first round picks in Tyler Algier, or 2 first round picks in Kyle Pitts. Now, if we want to move up to number 1, you might say, oh, okay, well, we'll give you 2 first rounders, 1 of our 2nd rounders, and we give you Kyle Pitts, or we'll give you Tyler Algier if you want to move up to number 1. Lil said need to trade the Bears either for Justin Fields or the number 1 pick. I'd rather do the number 1 pick, man, because you'd have to pay Justin Fields the very next year. And I'd rather us continue to use that money to continue to build the team up. Miller Mills is tired. I feel like as though Kyle Pitts, Drizzy, and Bijan are selling points for the new head coach and OC. I don't think we trade Kyle Pitts now, bro. You are possibly right on that, because I know that would be I know those young players would be a very attractive piece to the incoming head coach. So you could very well be correct on that. Coach says from what someone posted, the Bears already said what they want for the spot: 2 first rounds, a 2nd this year, and a young player. I would do it. 2 first rounders, okay. We can do that. You get a first round, and then you get a future first round pick in a later draft. A 2nd, Calvin Ridley re-signs with Jacksonville, so we got 2 seconds. So we can. That's definitely expendable 2nd round pick, and a young player. I'm all for it. So who would y'all want to get rid of? Tyler or Pitts? One of them got to go. Tyler or Kyle Pitts. If I had to pick one, I would. And y'all know I got the hashtag Free Kyle Pitts campaign, but I would probably trade Tyler before I trade Pitts, simply because Tyler does play running back, and you already got a star. You already got a young star running back already in tow with Bijan. So theoretically, Tyler, I think, is more expendable than Bijan. Even though I love Tyler Algier, y'all. I'm not trying to say Tyler a bad player in there like that, but I'm just trying to think about it from a logical standpoint. Mill says Grady or AJ might actually be a trade piece, possibly. With Grady coming off that injury, I would like us to keep AJ Terrell though. Young cornerback, man. It's cornerback is one of those positions, and I know a lot of times we'll see AJ make a bad play or maybe get beat, and we'll say he's sorry or something like that. But man, I'm telling you, it's hard to find good cornerback play in the NFL. It's real hard to find good cornerback play, and to me, in my opinion, AJ Terrell is a very good corner. I'm not saying he's a great. No, I'm not gonna cap him up to be something I don't think he is at this point. But I think he's a very, very good cornerback who one day could potentially become a great cornerback, excuse me. And they are very hard to find in the league. So I would hate to lose him. Then you got to try to replace him. Jeff Okudah ain't the guy. Clark Phillips may just end up being a slot guy, because it seems like, with his size may hinder him on a lot of matchups in the NFL. So I definitely don't want to see AJ get out of here. Robinson says Uncle Terry is also in charge of valet parking at the bench. Boy, y'all a rough crowd. Rough crowd. Terry is a modern day renaissance. Modern day renaissance man that's coming from Zigzag. Trey Allen said they hired Terry for his street cred. Let's ring the bell for that. Let's ring the bell for Terry getting hired for his street cred and to do the trapping at the bench. Account says trade for Fields. That's possible. Definitely possible. Carlos says, but on the cool, I think this exposure forces their hand to let Terry grab the reins and put together his regime. You might be right, Carlo. You definitely might be right on that. And speaking of that, let's start the video back up here also, y'all.
A lot of ways to look at that between the GM and the coach, but Terry will be at that table.
Yeah, he'll be incredibly involved. The only thing I would say to add on to what Rich said as well is that we made a study in 2002 before Rich was with us, which is hard to believe because it's been 20 years, I think, right? Rich?
20, yeah.
But I was really interested when I became an owner in 2001, and we did this in 2002 with actually a GM that used to work for Rich in Tampa, helped do the study. The history of the NFL, what were the attributes that made teams really successful over a long period of time? So the short and long answer to your question, Michael, is that you need a general manager and a head coach that have the same vision for the football team the same way. How you distribute it, if it comes down to power, you're in a bad place. The word power should never come into play. It shouldn't be measured necessarily. I do sort of believe in the Bill Parcells philosophy is that you're asking the coach to produce the wins and be responsible for the team record, et cetera. At the end of the day is that, you've got to let them partially or significantly be responsible for helping, prepare the recipe for the recipes that are going to require shopping and what have you for players. And if you ask Terry back the other day, he just gave me the same analogy. He said, my job is to help fill requirements that the coach and coaching staff believe we need to build a winning roster. So we're looking for collaboration. There has to be collaboration between a general manager and a head coach. Has to be respect, not always agreement. Agreement is not always a good thing. A respectful disagreement is important in any institution, any organization, et cetera. So you want everybody to speak their minds. You want everybody to be listened to. At the end of the day, hopefully you'll have the same vision and same focus. You'll be able to come to decisions that collaterally everybody agrees to. Collaboratively, I should say.
How do you guys feel about knowing you're not going to please everybody all the time? Certain members of the fan base feeling that the structure for the coaching search should be different. Maybe different people, different voices need to be heard more so this time around.
Well, there are different voices that will be heard, right? Obviously, we have a different general manager now that we didn't have last time. We have different personnel people that will be in it. We haven't decided on a search firm, whether we'll use one and who it'll be, but we very well may. And that gives you a different perspective.
That search firm again. There we go. Rich McKay says we haven't decided on whether or not we're going to use a search firm or who that may be. There we go with that search firm again. How do y'all feel about the search firms? Comment and let me know how y'all feel about them with the search firms. Do y'all think that's a good idea or do you think it's a bad idea? I think the last search firm produced Dan Quinn, of course. I don't think we used a search firm with Arthur Smith, but I'm not sure. We may have. I don't think they mentioned it during this press conference as of yet. But I'm interested to know, what do y'all feel about search firms and should we use them or should we not use them?
I think, Nick, it looks totally different today than it looked, 10 years ago in head coaching searches, in that the process is so much slower. There's so much more time for research. There's so much more time for collaboration between a bunch of people to be able to get to an idea and a decision, that I think that I hear them. I would say that, in Arthur's time, as an owner, he's hired, I guess, 5 head coaches, 3 of which have winning records, 2 of which don't, 1 of which I can't sleep at night because he got hired. I don't need to tell you who that is. But those 3 coaches with winning records were good football coaches. 2 went to the NFC Championship. One won an NFC Championship and went to the Super Bowl. So, but the process has changed. And to your point, you need more people in it. There needs to be more discussion about it. And I think having Terry and his personnel staff, which now have a pretty good sense of our roster and what the vision was for the roster, will help us as we begin to talk to coaches.
No. The other thing I would say, Nick, I don't think there's anything wrong with the pickers. And I don't say that defensively at all as me being, one of the pickers. But Rich said it. I go back and look at our coaches that we selected, starting with Coach Moore, Bobby Petrino, that's probably who Rich referred to.
Maybe.
Coach Quinn, Coach Smith.
So they're still mad at Bobby Petrino, huh? Rich McKay don't even refer to him by name. And I definitely understand that. He left us and he just bolted and left the team with, I think, 2 games left in the middle of the night. So it's forever F Bobby Petrino for me. So I understand why they still feel some kind of way about Bobby Petrino. He definitely pulled a yellowback coward move without a doubt.
All incredible human beings, great leaders, but also put up records that were important for us. The winning most coach in the history of the franchise, the coach who took us to the Super Bowl. I mean, I can go on and on. So our coaching selections, I think, have been good. And I wouldn't argue that Coach Smith was a bad selection based on the information that we had, based on his record in Tennessee. Personally, leadership-wise, leader of men, et cetera, scale of 1 to 10, somewhere between a 20 and a 30. Just an outstanding human being. Why his offensive record at Tennessee didn't translate here over a 3-year period. There's lots of stages to that, lots of phases to that, and understand it. But that's a question. So I think that in every case, I would say this, that we get a greater understanding of what it takes to be a successful head coach in the National Football League. And the challenges over time have changed. Years ago, and Rich could remember this, when I remembered buying the Falcons in 2001, we had 1 person in the marketing department, 1 person. There was 1 person, senior officer, and an EA. That was it. Today, how many do we have today?
Too many?
It was not too many.
Yeah,
How many is it
I'm going to
today?
say we've got to have 35, 40.
Yeah, but the business of the NFL and the business of being a head coach has changed. The number of people involved in media today, the channels of media today, the streaming, the distribution, the requirements on the head coach today are dramatically different and much more intense in a broader way than have ever been before. Go way back when Nick, you had here and Rich had here. I mean,
A long time ago.
a long
Nick.
time ago, but I mean, head football coach, the responsibility was this. Today, it's much broader. And so you have to, figure out how do you keep these distractions away from a head coach so they can focus on really what they're paid to do, which is to win games and win championships for the franchise. So I think.
Let's see. Matthew says, who do you think will be the first 3 players picked in the draft and to who? Caleb. And I'm going to say this as if no trades are going to happen. I think Caleb will go to Chicago. Who's picking second in the draft? It slips my mind right now. But I think Caleb will go number 1. As of right now, I'm going to say Drake May 2. But don't be surprised if Jaden Daniels shoots up on the draft chart after the combines and they do their pro days. So for right now, I'm going to say Caleb. I don't know why it slips my mind who got the second pick right now. But Caleb, Drake, Jaden Daniels. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the the 4th person drafted. And whatever order that is in the draft, I think the Patriots, is it Washington that got 2? Or Washington or New York? I forget. Zigzag said, I hate to see Grady go. What's up doing stuff with CJ? Got to disagree, Tidy, because Jono Smith is more productive than Pitts. So it keep Algier. What's up, Calvin? Okay. Yeah, and I'm not mad at that at all, bro. Because you know me, hashtag free Kyle Pitts. I like Algier. I went into this season, Calvin, saying that Algier should have been the starter. I don't feel like he should have lost his job day 1. Now, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, if you want to slide Bijan in as a starter, that's a different story. But I really think Tyler should have been the day 1 starter. Just my opinion. C Dubs to trade Pitts. Diva says, I have heard Grady may be on the table. Possibly. Grady might be at the point where he kind of just fed up with losing right now. Grady's in his 30s now. I think he done had three different contracts. So he might be at that Julio Jones point in his career where he's tired of the Falcons and he want to go to a certified contender right now. So we'll have to see how that goes. C Dub says we need some speed wide receiver to be explosive. Yes, who also can get separation off the blocks. Calais Campbell coming back for another year. Okay, I would like to resign him. I definitely would like to resign him if it makes sense for us. Wallace says I disagree with Tidy because we need to keep Algier to have that 1-2 punch, and if Bijan gets injured, we'll have a solid running back. I totally respect it. I'm a bigger fan of Algier on the team than I am Kyle Pitts. So, I definitely won't make a big debate back to you on that, Wallace. I can definitely see where you're coming from. See what else we have here. Carlos, a terrible deal for Fields. All that and got to give up. Hold on. Terrible deal for Fields. A lot and got to give up the sack. We can't be that pressed with someone out there better for less. And I understand what you're saying too, Carlo. I'm not on the field. I'm not on the Justin Fields bandwagon, to be honest. To me, that got to be like number 4, number 5 on our priority list as far as the quarterback go. And I'm a Justin Fields fan. I initially wanted us to draft him but I don't know, man. These 3 years I've watched Justin in the league, I haven't been like overly impressed with him as a quarterback. And I know some people will say, well, Chicago ain't this, Chicago ain't that, he ain't got no weapons, blah, 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 Be that as it may, I still haven't been overly impressed with him as a quarterback. When I watch him, some games he looks like he has all the potential in the world. And then there's some games he be sitting back there looking like Desmond Ridder with better legs, So, and like you say, you have to spend a pretty penny to trade for Fields, it ain't gonna be cheap. You're gonna spend a pretty penny, and then you got to pay him at least probably $45 million a year the very next year, or pick up his 5th-year option, which still gonna be probably 26, 27 million. I'd rather just draft the guy. To be honest, I would rather just draft the guy and take my chances with a young guy in the draft and get a veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson, and put the rookie behind the veteran, in my opinion. B. John says, do you think Grady or AJ Terrell could be used as a trade piece? I would say Grady. And I think, B. John, I really think we save a good deal if we trade Grady. Let's look at that real quick. Grady Jarrett over the cap. I think there's about an $8 million cap savings for Grady Jarrett. Let me pull it up on over the cap real quick. Let's see. Trade Grady. Oh boy, we saved $12 million. Man, we saved $12 million on the cap if we trade Grady. Man, Grady might be out of here. Yeah, straight up. Grady might be out of here. Grady might be out of here, man. But I would say Grady, man. I'm not really with trading AJ at this point. I'm not with trading Grady right now. Give me a second. I lost my place with the. Okay, there we go. Ghost Pepper says Terry's a professional online dating ghost, right? Let's ring the bell for that. Oh man. That might be the most creative one thus far. Terry writes everybody's bios for Tinder and Bumble and Hitch. So shout out to Terry for being the online dating profile guy. See, this is Terry in the weekend host bird watching class. Oh Lord, man, y'all are really killing Terry, man. Rich say, what is the search firm exactly? From what I know, I don't know a whole lot about it, but they do a lot of analytics for potential or available potential head coaching candidates. They compile a lot of analytics. They do a lot of background research. Looking at their resumes and their accomplishments thus far, and then they'll probably compile all that data and submit it to, we'll say Terry, submit it to Terry Fontenot and say, hey, based on our analytics and what we've compiled, these are possibly going to be your top 5 guys. And they'll submit it to the team and also have their data and reasoning on why these are your top 5 candidates. Facebook said the search team blows. Okay. Search team is trash. C. Dub says F that search firm for Arthur Smith. Robson says F blank and a search firm. Diva says I'm fine with the search firms because it takes the personal aspect out of it and can find qualified candidates and sometimes options you may not consider. Let's ring the bell for that. Diva, I think you're probably the only one that's in favor of the search firm. Millie Mills says, well, doesn't blank have every owner number? Just call him up and schedule the guy you want to meet with. I'm sure he does. And if he don't, I'm sure he can get it. Rich says, I stopped blaming Petrino for Vic getting convicted. Who else we got here? Wallace said, I don't have a problem with a search firm as long as they get the best candidate that they feel is the guy. So that's another person in favor of the search firm. Trey says, F Bobby, straight coward. I agree there. Let's ring the bell for that. Oh, man. Ghost Pepper says 7-10, 7-10, 7-10. Not a bad selection. You know they're being political up here. They won't say that bad publicly, man. See, Doug says, wow, Arthur Smith changed so much for the Falcons. So why did he get fired? That's a good point. Good counterpoint. Diva says that they're alone rules out Belichick. Then he ain't coming to the ATL with all these that the fans require. C-Dub said the Pats. Demetrius in the building. What's going on with you, Demetrius? How you feeling? Wallace says Washington picked second and the Patriots. Okay, that's what you mean. Pats number 2. Okay, C-Dub. Appreciate that. All right, I'm up to speed. Demetrius says, Tyler, do you think we stay at 8 or trade up? I say trade up, man. Go get your quarterback. Because, the best quarterbacks in the drafts won't be available at number 8. We're going to have some draft capital, or I should say draft assets. Our salary cap will be lovely. Go trade up to get your guy. No better time than the present. You waited 3 drafts without drafting a real quarterback. I ain't kind of Desmond Ridder as a real starting caliber quarterback. Desmond Ridder in the 3rd round that you're drafting for a backup at that point. Go get your quarterback. Trade up and go get him. He said, I think we can get a better player than AJ. I'm just saying, I don't know. But if we trade him, hopefully, I just know it's tough finding some good cornerbacks, man. It's tough. He the best one we'd have had in a minute. Rich says Petrino didn't just bolt. Vic was supposed to get a few months in return the following season. He didn't pass the dang random drug test, so the judge gave him 2 years. And that's when Petrino decided to quick check the dates. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I see what you're saying. Like, my only problem with how he left. I just felt like there was only like 2 weeks left in the season. You could have rolled those 2 weeks out. And that who he went to after that? I think Arkansas, or did he come from Arkansas? But however that went, you can still tell that team, yeah, I'm gonna take the job right after the regular season, and they would have held it for you. I just hate how he left. I'm not mad at him for leaving, because trust me, if I was in that predicament too, I was hired solely to bring out the best of this phenomenal athlete in Michael Vick, and now he's gone for 2 years, and you're gonna move past him. Okay, I've been like, okay, I want to leave. But it's just how he left. I just thought that was some just real yellowback coward type of thing. Demetrius said Ricky Purcell is a wide receiver we should consider looking at in the draft. C-Dub says AJ is just an average guy. Ooh, bang on AJ Terrell. B. John says I would laugh at the search firm said they real high Dan Quinn. Let's ring a bell for that. They say go back and get Dan Quinn. I doubt Quinn would want to come back here to be totally honest. I think he contend in Dallas until he finds his quote unquote dream head coaching job. I don't think he wants to come back here. Demetrius said I feel like Fields' average is up. That's about it. He lacks consistency. That's where I'm at with it also. I'm not saying I think Justin is a bad quarterback or trash, but I just think he's an average quarterback right now. And I feel like if we're gonna give up all that, you might well just go get a Ricky and have a better cap and have a better salary cap situation, in my opinion. So he does make them pick Quinn or Morris. Diva says also I'm more in favor of the search firm because I wasn't too crazy about who they interviewed last time with the candidates. Wallace says entirely that's going to be the narrative with the media for the Falcons to trade for Fields and bring him back home. And I agree with you that we don't need him to draft the quarterback instead. Yes, amen on that. Demetrius says Terry looks like an Xbox 360 avatar. God, y'all a rough crowd. What y'all just going in on Terry? I thought y'all liked Terry. I thought everybody liked Terry. Y'all going in on Terry, man. Little E says they needed to search for a quarterback last couple years. Let's ring the bell for that. Boy, y'all a rough crowd tonight. Well, I thought Monday was supposed to be a laid back day. Y'all came in here banging on everybody. Abel says, at what point do these two take blame for 6 straight losing seasons? Ooh, that's a great statement. Quinn didn't win anything. They're trying to take credit for Shanahan taking Atlanta to the Super Bowl. Boy, that's a hell of a statement. Maybe they will later on in this. But I'm in total agreement with you on that, Abel. They need to look themselves in the mirror. Only 2 winning seasons out the last 11 years. That tells me something is wrong up top. And I'm not talking about the general manager. I'm talking about further up the chain of command. Diva says, laughing the only 3 consecutive things Arthur Smith did, 21-30, 3 losing seasons, we got him fired and standing behind Desmond Ridder. That's a fact. That's a big fact at that. Ghost Pepper says, let's just say if Rich McKay decided to keep Arthur Smith instead of firing him, do you think Rich McKay would have brought Ryan Tannehill to the A for Arthur Smith despite Terry's feelings? I hope not, man. I would hope not. I don't know. Because as you know, Ghost Peppers as a Falcons fan, you never know what these jokers going to do. I never thought they would have trusted Desmond Ridder to be the starter uncontested going into the season, but they did. But I would hope they wouldn't. There's nothing about Tannehill at this point that makes me say bring him to Atlanta. Nothing at all about Tannehill. He's older now. He's injury prone. He's going to cost a good bit of money. There's nothing attractive about Tannehill to me at all. So I would hope they would not do that. Demetrius said, if we draft up, how far do you think we should go? I just want the Falcons to trade up to get Jane Daniels in the top 3. I think to get Daniels, you got to be at least number 3. At the very minimum, you got to be 3. You might got to be 2. Because I think after the combine and the pro days, he may jump ahead of Drake May. You know. But we shall see. We shall see. Let's see and watch a little bit of the video.
We continue to garner more knowledge and become wiser.
Yeah. Hey guys, over here.
I'm sorry.
So in trying to understand or let the fans understand when this decision was made to fire Arthur Smith, you talked about a 2-hour meeting last night where he came in. Sounds like it was a back and forth conversation, almost like maybe he was lobbying to keep his job. Then you talked about separating afterwards from him, and then you decided to make the decision. So does that suggest that you had not decided to fire Arthur Smith right away? Was there a process a few games ago where you started to think about it? And as of last night, does that mean that that was a conversation about how you could possibly keep him? And at the end of it, then you made the decision. How did it play out? I guess I didn't understand totally.
Yeah. I would say, number one, Steak, you probably spend too much time watching serial stuff on TV. But beside that, all that, I mean, I don't think you come to a decision on this. Speaking for me, Rich can talk for himself. But it's not, obviously it's not a snap decision. It's one that you continue to ruminate on as the season goes on. You absorb things, you see things, how are we doing, how are we responding, what's our record against winning teams, what's our record against losing teams. Our record against losing teams this year was abysmal, honestly. And coach would be the first to say that. Lots of reasons, but we lost a bunch of games we probably should not have lost or didn't have to lose, if you will. So, I don't think it was any one thing. And it was not like one point in time where you press a button and decide. At the end of the day, you have to do that. And we did it last night. But, we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to, in a quiet way, several hours after the game, et cetera, to make sure we had a chance to listen to Coach Smith. We had a chance to share with him our observations and our feelings and why we felt the way we did. I think it's just a result of that, of that process. You get to a point where you feel, and I've said this to several of the people, including Rich, I think, last night, is that, I feel pained by the decision personally, but I actually feel at peace, truly at peace about making a decision on behalf of the franchise, on behalf of our fans, on behalf of ultimately our players, not just because of their personal devotion to him, but actually thinking about the future and our responsibility to give them the best environment to create a winning championship team. So it's not one particular moment in time. It's just kind of a growing equation that you go through and you balance and you rebalance and you balance and you think about. You sleep over, you try to make up the sleep, doesn't work out well, but eventually you come to that decision. And then on your other side of the decision, do you feel at peace about it or don't you? And I feel completely at peace about the decision. Not for myself personally, yes, but beyond that, really for our fan base and for the people that we're connected to.
Arthur Blank didn't like that question. He was real snarky when he gave his answer initially. He didn't really care for that question at all. Ray Ellison says, for me, I think we should go ahead and trade for the number 1 spot. I'm all with that. No need in trying to take a chance and not get who we want. We have pieces that Chicago will consider where it won't cost as many picks. I'm in total agreement with you on that. Totally agree. Hey, shoot for the stars. Go ahead and get that number 1 pick. Caleb Williams has already put Atlanta on his dream list, so he's interested in coming here. Loud Pack in the building. What's going on, Loud Pack? How you doing? Facebook user says Quinn was trash. Our defense sucked when he was in charge of it. Defense was pretty bad. Rich says Terry should have pulled a David Ruffin and showed up to that press conference anyway. Terry get him an Uber and show up and pull up on him anyway. Demetrius says also, if we trade up, who should we include in the trade package? Decisions. If we train up to like the top three, I say that's gonna cost at least 2 first-round picks, a middle round pick, maybe fourth, fifth round, so around that, and possibly a player. You know, we talked about earlier, Demetrius. We went back and forth on who we would include, whether that be Tyler Algier or Kyle Pitts. Some people said trade Tyler, some people said trade Kyle Pitts, but I know they would both be attractive trade compensation to another team. Races, I know this is a year. I know this year is the year we need to draft a quarterback. Is there something you see where we may have another year of a bridge quarterback and go after Shador Sanders? I know how Prime wants his sons playing here. That's a great question. I think really, that's a good tough question. I think whoever the new head coach is will probably want to come in and get this guy immediately. With Terry Fontenot just seeing the head coach being fired, he may be more compelled to go ahead and pull the trigger on the quarterback this year. But again, that's a great question because Jeff Schultz, who's a great reporter who covers the Falcons, has already publicly stated that the Falcons actually like Shador Sanders a lot. Like the Falcons really like Shador. He said the Falcons didn't value Justin Fields high at all, which is why they didn't draft him. They didn't really like Fields that much to spend a lot to get him in the draft, but they really like Shador Sanders. Then you got the Dion connection in Atlanta, you know. And I know the fan base would like that because Dion is still one of the most loved athletes in Atlanta history. So I know the fans would like to see us draft Prime and then us come and get Prime Junior. It's possible. It's quite possible. They may bridge it out one year, stand back on their draft picks and just say, look, we're going to get Shador next year. It's possible, man. Because Jeff Schultz said they really like Shador Sanders. They didn't like Justin Fields, but they like Shador. Speaking about the Falcons. Ray says, I know Shador comes out in 2025, even though he's eligible to leave this year. Correct. Trey says if we had fired Smith at the Vikings game, we possibly could have secured the division. Possibly. I'm not sure who would have stepped up to be the interim head coach during that point in time, but quite possibly. B. John says the Bears seem to really like Justin Fields, so they may hold on to him. And that would bode well for us because that means that they would be more willing to entertain a trade. So that would bode well for us if we try to trade up the number one pick. Zig say the bounce back will be worth it. B. John says it will be interesting to see how well Kyle Pitts plays under a new coach. It will. You make a hell of a point, B. John. Because under a new coach, that's going to really tell us. Well, I guess we got to get a competent quarterback too. But that's going to tell us how much of that was on Kyle and how much of that was on the coach. And again, that's barring that we do at least get somewhat of a competent quarterback, which I'm sure we're going to do at this point this year, even if we have to go get a veteran in free agency. C Dubs, the state does like that T too. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos says, start a fire McKay campaign. Okay. Start a fire Rich McKay campaign. In a way, gatekeeping. And I feel his ideas are outdated and not in sync with the real future of Atlanta football culture. Back Terry, because this is why he left New Orleans. This is a hell of a comment. And a lot of people, Carlo, they feel like, Rich McKay is really standing in the way of this team taking the next step and just getting out of the pits of being a poverty franchise, just losing every year, losing. I mean, 3 consecutive 7-10 seasons. It's like we stuck in the mud and we trying to get out and we ain't making no progress. And as a fan, it gets very, very frustrating. It gets for y'all know I come in here and I just be pissed off sometimes after the game and I just come in and bang and vent and be frustrated, man. So you make a hell of a point on that. C Dub says Arthur Blanks on Negan Arthur Smith. Antoine says we are on the trade. Ghost Pepper says we have to keep in mind, Toddy, the Carolina Hello Kitties. Shot for the stars too. You right. And boy, did they fail miserably. But the thing about it, Bryce, Bryce may have a bounce back year next year. You might just have to take his rookie growing pains. Next year may just be a big year for him. Being a Falcons fan, I don't really want that to happen, but it's possible. It's possible. We'll see what these next 2 years look like for Bryce Young. These next 2 years will tell us everything we need to know. Rich says Shador a better option than Jaden Daniels. Oh, that's a good question. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. To me, Jaden Daniels is a hell of a prospect, man. The thing about Jaden Daniels, he's a hell of an athlete that plays quarterback, and he can run the ball. And it's not so much that, well, I want to run a quarterback like Lamar, because the thing about Jaden, he throws the ball just as well. He got a real legit arm. He don't have to run. I think he threw for over 4,000 yards this year, if memory serves me correctly. So it's almost like you get the best of both worlds with Jaden. If you need him to run, he can take off and run. But if you need him to stand in the pocket and throw, he can stand in the pocket to throw. So I don't know. Between him and Shador, I don't know. I really have no idea. That's a tough question. It'll be interesting to see what Shador does next year in college. That'll say a lot about him. And Shador's a hell of a quarterback himself as well. Shador, of course, don't have nowhere near the athleticism that Jaden Daniels does. But depending on who you talk to, they may say that Shador is a better prototypical NFL quarterback in terms of throwing the ball. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying, but depending on who you talk to, they may say that. They may say Shador is better fit for NFL football, whereas Jaden Daniels is a better fit for college football. But that's a good question, man. I really wish I could have gave you a direct answer, but I don't know. I don't know. You stumped me on that question. Carlos says, give up those picks. We know who we got in the players. Those fellas deserve a real shot with a real coach. We just need a quarterback. Yeah, that's what held us back this year. We just didn't have a quarterback. Did not have a quarterback. And Twan says, we're going to trade Richie Grant. Possibly. The thing about it, man, Richie Grant don't have a lot of trade value right now. I mean, you talking about maybe getting like a 5th rounder for him, a 6th rounder. And then you have to ask yourself, is that depth, that the depth and experience, even though he's not a quote unquote great player, is a 5th or 6th rounder worth giving up that depth and experience that you got in Richard Grant, a player who's already familiar with your system and your team. So you have to weigh those out also. Dio's in the building. What's going on with you, bro? How you feeling? Says, I want to keep Kyle, but he's not a tight end. We have wide receivers blocking better than him. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. That is definitely a fact. And Kyle is really only a tight end by depth chart designation. Kyle is way more wide receiver than he is a tight end. If I have my numbers correctly, and I'm sure I'm going to be pretty accurate with these numbers, but he lined up around 75, 76% of the time his rookie year as a wide receiver. I think the second year was around 73, 74% as a wide receiver. And he's just not a great blocker. And I don't think he'll ever become a great blocking tight end. And to throw Kyle a bone, that's not his game. He didn't go number 4 in the NFL draft because he could block great at the University of Florida. He was supposed to be this super athlete who creates all kind of advantages on the field. And thus far with Atlanta, that just has not panned out. That could be due in part to the scheme. I don't think he fit Arthur Smith's scheme at all. I really feel like Jono Smith was a better option at tight end in Arthur Smith's scheme than Kyle Pitts was. But we'll see what happens with the next quarterback and the next coach. If he's here, still next year, hopefully he'll improve. If not, we'll know certainly that hey, we wasted a number 4 pick on him. Zigzag said, I'll gladly trade Grant. Demetrius said, if the Hello Kitties could trade for the number 1 pick in last year's draft, and we can do it in this year's draft. That's true. Very, very true. Atlanta Sport in the building. What's going on, Atlanta Sport? I can't wait to see my team at the Super Bowl in the playoffs. Let's ring the bell for that. I see we got my dog Tip in the building, A1 Forever. Y'all make sure that y'all do subscribe to Tip on YouTube. Also, show my dog some love. Make sure that you all subscribe to his channel. Great. I was going to say Falcons content creator, but just a great Georgia sports content creator. So make sure to show him some love. So let's go get your own quarterback. I feel like there's a disconnect in the front office because Terry is being handled like a cone. Man, they've been banging on Terry in these comments. I thought the fan base liked Terry, but boy, they've been going crazy on Terry. McKay is the true Falcon for life. Profound statement. Damn. You're right. McKay is actually truly the Falcon for life, no matter what. No matter what, that's definitely going to be the Falcon for life. Demetrius says, now it seems like Dave Ragone and Rich McKay should be the next people to go. Ragone probably will be gone, being that we're going to get a new head coach. I don't think Ragone will be here next year, so I think you're going to get your wish on that, Demetrius. Ray says, do we know what the salary caps look like next year? Also, what players do you think won't come back? Good question. They have not released the salary cap numbers yet. That normally comes, I think, a few months after the Super Bowl is played. But I may be wrong, but I think that's right. What players won't be back? Something tells me Bud Dupree probably won't be back here. Calais Campbell, I'm not sure he'll come back. He may retire, or he may just have even though he said he loves the city of Atlanta, or he likes the city of Atlanta, the Falcons franchise or the current direction of the franchise may not be enough to entice him to return. So, we could lose Calais Campbell. Those are the main two there that really stick out in my mind. A few people before you commented about training Richard Grant. He could be a casualty of the new coaching staff. They may come here and decide, well, we'll trade him for a bag of peanuts, and if don't nobody want it, we'll just go ahead and cut him, get rid of him, and bring somebody here to replace him. They may feel like DeMarco Hillams is a better option anyway. He's younger, he hits harder, and he's a better football player. So that could be somebody else. We talked about the possibility that Kyle Pitts or Tyler Algier could be moved in a trade if the Falcons decide they're going to trade up and get the quarterback. Those could be some potential options that could leave also. Mac Hollins, I think Mac Hollins is here on a 1-year deal. I might be wrong. It might be a 2-year deal. Mac Hollins could possibly be a casualty of the new coaching staff as well. So, those are a few players that come to mind. I know some people in the comments mentioned Grady Jarrett, could possibly be moved. I will say this, if Grady isn't moved in the offseason, I think 2024 will probably be Grady Jarrett's last year as a Falcon. He has served us very, very well during his career, but I think 2024 might be his last year with the franchise. So he only has 2 years left on the contract, and next year might be his final year with the franchise. Zigzag says, get Rusty in next draft, Shador, the following year. Have him either start or sit, depending on how far along he is. Get the best red edge rusher at 8 and thug it out. Russ is more serviceable. I can go for that, man. I can go for that. I ain't got no problem bringing Russell Wilson in as long as it's it's not on a crazy deal. At this point, I'm really not down with spending upwards of $30 million a year on a quarterback. And being that Russell has that contract thing with the Broncos, I don't think he's going to demand that much money anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Dio says he's really stationary in the pocket, but that's fixable at the NFL level. I like him. Who you talking about, Dios? Let me know which quarterback you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about Jaden or Shador. Miss B in the building. What's going on, Miss B? Let's ring the bell for Miss B. Says, hey, Todd and Chad, how you doing tonight, Miss B? Hope everything going well. Jaden it is. Okay. Jaden. Yeah, I like Jaden too. That's number one on my list. You know, I'm a big proponent of the Falcons doing whatever is necessary to go get Jaden Daniels. That's really who I want to see in Atlanta. That's number one on my list without a doubt. Demetrius said after tonight, I think Penix might slip down possibly. And I said it before, Demetrius. I'm just not real big on Penix, man. 2 torn ACLs before you even take an NFL snap, man. It just has a lot of red flags that pop out. Those red flags just pop out. 2 ACL tears. And then I watched from the night, and you can see that leg or that knee brace, protruding through his pants, and I'm like, it's just too much injury history there for me. I would not want us to use our first round pick on Penix. But the kid has, I feel like he has hell of a potential, but I just can't get over the injuries, man. I can't get over the knee injuries. I just can't. I cannot do it. Diva says Shador has been groomed for the NFL, who has a quarterback. His mentor is Tom Brady. His other mentor is, of course, his dad. So, yeah, he's been groomed by NFL royalty, of course. So let's go back to the video, y'all.
I want to go back to why Terry is physically not in the room with you here, because, I mean, gentlemen, look, words have to match actions, and optically, you have to understand what it says to everybody in this room and the fan base that Terry isn't here to answer the questions. And given the press release last night where he has just input, if he's not the driving force behind hiring and firing, then it's fair to ask if his role is just somebody of a scout or player person or personnel director. I mean, the idea that he's not here doesn't sell it to many of us in this room and the fan base that Terry has authority to really pick his next head coach, which he didn't get the first time either.
Well, let me just answer the first thing. Rich gave you the real answer, but he actually did have an opportunity the first time. Just to be clear, and you may not know the facts, so Terry did not know Coach Smith at all. We actually interviewed Coach Smith first before Terry Fontenot ever met him. We hired Terry, and then Terry helped participate in all the coaching interviews that we did at that time, including Coach Smith. So they had no prior connection, et cetera, and he was involved in that, et cetera. Not solely, obviously, but he was part of the team that helped make that decision. So we have nothing but respect for Terry personally as well as professionally, and the staff that he's put together. So I want to just be clear on that. So, I mean, we can't have everybody here that we all have roles to do. I mean, if you were at Flowery Branch today, it's a version of a personal, difficult circus up there today. So he's holding that fort down. Rich was up.
What did he just say? A personal, difficult circus? Is that what he just said? Did I hear him right? A personal. Hold on, let's go back. I gotta hear that.
Facts. So Terry did not know Coach Smith at all. We actually interviewed Coach Smith first before Terry Fontenot ever met him. We hired Terry, and then Terry helped participate in all the coaching interviews that we did at that time, including Coach Smith. So they had no prior connection, et cetera, and he was involved in that, et cetera. Not solely, obviously, but he was part of the team that helped make that decision. So we have nothing but respect for Terry personally as well as professionally, and the staff that he's put together. So I want to just be clear on that. So, I mean, we can't have everybody here that we all have roles to do. I mean, if you were at Flowery Branch today, it's a version of a personal, difficult circus up there today. So
it's a version of a personal, difficult circus up there today. What does that mean? It's a version of a personal, difficult circus. Oh boy, he just threw me a curve. What is he saying? They're acting like somebody passed away. A personal, difficult circus. Boy, what was that? What did he just say? Let me keep playing the tape. Maybe he gonna answer it.
So he's holding that fort down. Rich was up there this morning, and he's dealing with coaches, their concerns, their families, everything going on that's up there, which is very significant. It's not a handful of people. There's a ton of people in that building that we got to be thoughtful about. And I'm blessed having him there dealing with that while we're down here dealing with this. So, Rich.
Hold on. So, are they saying that Terry's and Flowery Branch like consoling adults that are crying or something? Is that what he's saying? A guy that has only been in 3 years. What? Lord. And this is my favorite team in the world. What is going on in that line, boy? What are y'all doing? Let me keep playing the tape. They're gonna raise my blood pressure. It's too late at night to have my blood pressure going on.
Do you want
Yeah, the other thing I would say to your question, fine question, but Arthur Smith did not report to Terry, and we didn't set it up that way. We didn't want it that way. We wanted a partnership where there could be a shared vision and get us what we thought we needed on the personnel side, and I think we achieved it. We're definitely in a better place than we were 3 years ago based on their collaboration. Today, as we see it, we see the same setup. We don't see the coach reporting to Terry. But Terry will have that same role as being in charge of personnel. So the idea was, and Michael asked the question, will it be a 50-50? That's our thought going in. Could change, but please don't take it that somehow Terry's role would be diminished. In no way, shape, or form would his role be diminished. His role has still been to run the personnel department, which I think the record speaks for itself. And it's been
these
pretty
gentlemen,
good.
they both, if you look at a traditional table of organization, they both report to Rich McKay. And that we've been clear about that. So that hasn't changed, and kind of Rich represents Terry up.
Oh my God, yo, what is going on here? Now this press conference that really took a turn for the worse. Now that they asked, okay, stop BSing us about Terry. What is going on? C-Dub says Zeno came with the heat. Yeah, he put him on the spot. They what? Consoling, like, bro, this dude is a general manager. He ain't supposed to be consoling people. Like, dude, what? Lord. Lord. Miss B said he said something about consoling family, etc. I'm like, that's what I'm like, Miss B. Like, what? What did you just say? Consoling? What is? I thought we was joking about 30 minutes ago when we called him a psychiatrist, but evidently not. So I guess y'all was right about Terry had to do so much good. This is a mess. This is a mess, y'all. This is a flat out mess. Raymond says, I remember I said on your show a few weeks ago about blanking wrestlers sitting back having a good laugh. This is what I was about. It makes sense now to me, Raymond. It makes perfect sense to me, man. Jesus, it is a mess. What are they saying right here? You telling me your general manager could not show up to a very important press conference because people are crying at Flowery Branch and he has to be there to console them? I mean, are we serious right now, Arthur Blank? Are we serious? I mean, are we serious? Oh my Lord. If we don't sound like a rec center team. Boy. Carlo, you crazy. Oh, see, Terry got a lot of jobs, said the break. Yeah, he do. But Terry be working triple time. Terry only can go home on Wednesday. He probably got a bed set up somewhere, his own personal room at the branch. What are they saying? Cause oh Lord, Miss B said he consoling the players and the fans. That's what it sounds like, Miss B. That's definitely what it sounds like. Boy. So Terry is a bad boy. There y'all go. There y'all go. Zig says WTF going on. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Ghost Pepper says you can hear the heated trembling in Arthur Blaine's voice. He's upset. He was very unsettled with that question. And like you say, you can hear the voice inflections, the body language change. Look at Rich McKay right down the screenshot. You know, look at his body language. He's like, what should we say next? You know, he seems a little unsettled himself. This is a mess, y'all. Oh my God, this is a mess. Boy. Diva says Art Smith may have needed security to get escorted off the property. Art Smith will banging on his way out of Flowery Branch. See, Dustin, they were not ready for that Zeno question. They wasn't. They was not at all. Arthur speaking in riddles. Yeah, there's it. I think we are looking at the reason why this franchise may never prosper. Oh, unfortunately, MW. Unfortunately, you might be right, bro. I was doing well until we got to this point. Throughout all the rambling and them eluding some questions, when Zeno asked this was a hard question. This wasn't no softball question. This was a hard question, and they were not prepared to answer it. You're right. The press went stupid. Alberto, what's up? Ty, what's good? If they don't get this head coach right, fans are coming after these two. You right? It look like the fans are already coming up to him right now. Or coming after him right now. My bad. Yeah, the NFL is okay with this. Ms. B said they were cracking jokes as though the jokes were terrible. Yeah, none of Arthur Blank's jokes have hit. He done told about 3 or 4 of them, and none of them have landed as of yet. You know, none of his jokes have landed as of yet. Miller Mill says he's self-snitching. See, Doug says Blake does snitch on himself. And W say Blake self-snitching. Oh, man. C Dub said, I always enjoyed your break. I appreciate it, C Dub, man. I always appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much. Rick said, I told y'all Terry's at Flowery Branch consoling the coaches. I wasn't juggling ring the bell for that. You did say that, bro, like 45 minutes ago. And I just thought you were telling jokes like everybody else was. But it sounds like that's what they saying. Like he consoling people. Oh, good Lord. I tell you what, y'all. We're about 40 minutes in. It's after 2 o'clock. I think we gonna end it for the night on this Terry question. Golly. Yeah, this probably a good place to end it for the night, y'all. We already 2 hours plus strong on the live stream. We'll come back to this tomorrow. We'll finish this up tomorrow. Like I said, we was gonna split it in half anyway. So we'll come back and we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Because boy, I really done heard enough already tonight. So we'll finish this tomorrow, y'all. What I'll do is we'll come back and we'll do another late night edition. We'll probably start around 11:45 like we did tonight. And I'll set a reminder on YouTube and we'll come back and we'll finish it tomorrow. But man, y'all was telling all them jokes about all them jobs Terry had, and I see y'all telling the truth. Like, boy, I hope they paying Terry well. I mean, he gotta hug people and console people, and he gotta prepare this 25-page document. Good night. They gonna end up having Terry quit. I wouldn't be surprised if Terry sent his resignation papers tomorrow. Like, man, I'm out this bit. Y'all can have this job, this old crazy ass team. But yeah, man, it's been real, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and keeping the chat lit, man, because I want y'all to know y'all, and I say this with all the love, but y'all are some crazy fools in this chat with some of the stuff y'all be typing. Y'all be having me dying laughing, man. I'm for real. But we'll come back and we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Arthur Blank in the hot seat. He's definitely in the hot seat. And we'll finish it up tomorrow with part 2, Arthur Blank in the hot seat. Until then, man, y'all have a beautiful night and God bless.